dab in the middle of June, but something seems a little bit off, wouldn't you say? We're actually 2 weeks into hurricane season, and the summer temperatures haven't hit us yet. So what is going on? I got the guy right here to help us out with that. We decided to take a little time to grill you, since you're our co-host, on some of these topics. So
where do you want to start?
Let's start with this whole 90-degree thing. We have not hit 90 degrees yet, have we?
No, the closest we got was what, Sunday, when we got to 88? That's the closest we've been.
That's pretty unusual, isn't it?
Usually by this time, I've already had at least 5 or 6 people complain to me that it's too hot, it's too humid. We didn't have spring. We jumped from 55 and rainy in March to 95 with a 75 dew point. What happened to spring? Spring always feels like it's like a week or two. That's all I read on my comments.
So why were we so blessed with spring this year?
I think because we were transitioning for the first time in 5 years from La Nina to El Nino out in the Pacific. The pattern was starting to shift. And so everything just lined up that for a prolonged period of time, we had this flow coming in out of Canada, which also brought, of course, the smoke a couple weeks ago to us. But we just had a cool weather pattern. The big Bermuda high hasn't set up yet. And if it has, we've been interrupted by big areas of low pressure that sit nearby and just throw little pieces of energy and keep us on the cool side, keep us where we should be for this time of year.
Where we should be. Wow.
It's weird.
Okay, so do you think that's going to stick around? Are we going to?
I think for another few days. We do have another area of low pressure sitting to our north, so that's why we have the chances for showers and storms for Wednesday. We also have a chance for showers and storms on Friday, or for showers at least on Friday as well. The weekend forecast, though, looks phenomenal. And Sunday is going to be our taste of summer again, where we'll get into the 80s, we'll feel a little bit more humidity, and then another low comes in for next week. So it's literally like we're now getting away with the weekend, which blessings, because we had 8 straight weekends of rain. So now we're batting 1 for 1 last weekend with the air show weekend. It was a great weekend for weather. I think we'll bat 2 for 2.
That's wonderful.
Going into June for the weather.
All right. Well, June, of course, is the start of hurricane season, and I don't know if we've even talked about that. Do you have any predictions, or what do you think is going to happen this year?
So NOAA and Colorado State both have said, we need to see how El Nino plays out. El Nino is going to be a huge driver in our forecast for the hurricane season, because El Nino will actually make the trade winds become stronger as they come across Mexico, moving into the Caribbean and into the Atlantic. So in theory, that limits what development that we see.
Okay.
So usually on an El Nino year, we don't see as many developing storms in the Atlantic because of that inherent shear from the trade winds being stronger. The thing working against us this year for the hurricane season, working against us because it only takes one, the water temperatures in the Atlantic south of Miami are insanely warm for this time of year. We're running like 5-6 degrees above average. So we don't know what's going to happen because we have all this warm water to play with. We've got strong trade winds. It's only going to take one change in the wind shift. That's all it's going to take to develop a big storm out in the Atlantic.
So you think that could happen like later on in the summer?
So the last time that we had this very prolonged transition from La Nina to El Nino was 1992. And there was a storm named Andrew that year.
Oh, I remember. I remember that so well.
And the water temperatures were running warmer than average then, too. So we'll see.
All right.
Let's
well, we're going to keep our fingers crossed. Yeah.
Because it only takes one, friends.
That doesn't happen. Well, thank you so much. Anytime you fill in, we're gonna hit you up on all things weather.
I would hope so.
Yeah.